Okay, let's talk about photography license fees. This is a subject that seems to have a lot of confusion in them. So we're going to talk about commercial photo shoots here for advertising campaigns, because some people think commercial photographs means photographing people in the commercial world. But when I talk about it, I mean an actual ad campaign. So we're going to talk about a singular image here. So we're shooting an advert for somebody. Now, there are three bits of pricing that come into this. We have the production cost, which is how much it costs to produce the image. So retoucher, stylist, wardrobe, food stylist, home, whatever it may be. All the costs that go into it, studio rental, camera rental, all those things, they are your production costs. Then we have the photographer's day rate, and that'll be the biggest line item out of all of these so far. Let's say it's £1,000 for my easy mathematical sake, and that's what they get paid for the day to labour. That is your labour fee, your creative fee, your fee to do the work and produce the images. And you can give them those images for that fee. However, for them to use them in a commercial setting, they need to pay the license to do that. And this is because of how much money they're making off the back of those images. If they didn't do it this way, we just charge a huge amount of our creative fees. So it's a different way of breaking it down. And what it allows is for them to only pay for what they need. Whereas if we didn't use usage, we'd just be charging £50,000 a photo, and everyone would pay the same whether they're going to use it for one social media post or for a worldwide campaign spanning 20 years. So it gives the client the option to tailor their needs and only pay for what they want when they want. So, for example, they might be paying £1,000 in production and £1,000 for the shoot, and that's a £2,000 package there. These are just round up numbers because I can't do maths in my head. But then the license fee, they might want a 10-year license, which might cost an extra £10,000 for the type of usage they want to do, which we'll get into later. And that would be a £12,000 shoot. Or they might only want it for 1 year, which would cost £4,000. So then they'd have a £6,000 shoot. So they're paying for exactly how they want to use it rather than just paying one big chunk. And a lot of clients who are smaller will be like, yeah, why are we paying to use the images when we've already paid you? And I think the misunderstanding here is that we're charging extra money for the sake of it. We're not. We're reducing our price to make it fit what they would need. So if they did want to pay just me for the day, and to own everything every single time, they'd be paying a fortune, but that is not what they always need. And this is where the usage comes in. And this is how I explain it to clients who don't understand it. It's like, well, I'm either £50,000 for you for today, or you can just pay for what you need. You choose. And that's how I sort of, explain it to smaller clients. And then they'll go, yeah, but this person here just charges £1,000 and doesn't charge any usage. And I'm like, well, great, go with them. That's fine. They're not the client for me. They don't want what I deliver. And that is fine. There is no point in trying to tell them they do, because maybe they don't even need what I deliver. It's a very niche what I do, and it's a very specific clientele that I have. And it'll be the same for most of you as well. If people don't understand why they should pay that and they can't see the value in paying you this much money versus this person, let them pay the cheaper photographer, because I guarantee you they will be a nightmare client. Now, I'm going to jump onto my computer and I'm going to plug up a bit of an example of usage and show you how much it costs. So I'm using the AOP calculator, and the first thing it asks you to do is put in your BUR, which is your base rate for business. So I'm going to put £1,000 in there. And I'm going to start adding a few extra bits. So something I do a lot of is point of sale work. When you walk down a supermarket and you see at the end of a line, there'll be like a brand's cardboard cutout with all the stuff in. That's called point of sale. Now, if, for example, I was charging £1,000 for the shoot for my money, and then they wanted 2 years of usage for points of sale in Europe only, they'd be paying an extra fee of £3,000 on top of my day rate and any production costs, which I don't always get. When I say I don't always get them, I mean they're not always mine. It might be an assistance, it might be something like that. I don't skim off the top of assistants. Whatever their fee is their fee. I don't take like a finder's fee. I think that's a bit of a douchey move to make. Now, I'm going to rack up a big bill now to sort of show you what that might look like. So say, for example, you shot an advert for a big brand and they wanted to use it for the next 10 years as an iconic thing, so they didn't have to relicense. It gets cheaper the longer you license it for. They want to be able to use it in all media, online, print, billboards, the works. There's a lot of campaigns that do this, and they want to use it worldwide. On top of that £1,000 day rate, they will pay you £81,000. And that is to you, the photographer. And this is why you don't skim off the assistants, because if they're getting £250 a day and you take £50 of that for yourself, but you're getting £81,000 on the side, that's not cool. Even though on every shoot you don't get this, you might only get £1,500 license fee, or £10,000 license fee, or £5,000 license fee, or £500, whatever it may be. you don't take money from other staff. Whatever they're billed in as, that is their line item and that is what they get to the penny. If not, more as a bonus if you happen to land a big job and everyone nails it and they make your life a dream and they make the client think you're amazing, then yeah, bump in the bonuses. But this is where the license fees sort of like make their difference. And I remember looking at photographers way back when on, I think it was called Famous BTS Magazine Instagram, being like, how on earth have they got £3 million worth of kit in that studio? I don't understand it. For like my day rate at the moment is competitive with most London photographer day rates. And in the UK, we're quite high in the whole scale. I think New York charges a little bit more, but then living's a little bit more. And if I worked every day of the year, I wouldn't be able to afford that. And it was when I discovered licensing that I realized, oh, they're not getting, say, £2,000 a day or £1,000 a day. They're getting £80,000 for that day's work. That's a very different sum of money. Now, of course, within this, you have to actually be good enough to produce those images and to shoot for those big household brands. And it takes time. It takes a decade, 15 years, maybe 20 years to get there. But it is a lot of money once you're there, and it is a good way to make a living. Now, I hope this has been interesting. I'm sure you have questions. I'm sure I've skipped bits that you wanted to know about. If you do, drop a line in the comments below. In the description bit, I'll leave a link to the AOP calculator because it is brilliant. The AOP in general, if you're in the UK, do sign up for their membership. They protect us, they help us, they guide us. They're just good people. If you're enjoying this content, hit subscribe, and I'll see you next time.